Tax abatements. Let's talk about it. Communities put tax abatements out there on properties, which is basically saying for 5 years you have no taxes, or you pay taxes on 25% of the value, 50% of the value, 75%, and then finally 100% of the value. They put these incentives on properties because they're struggling to get people to move to their community. And they know that if they offer up something that's free or less money so people can afford to move there, it's going to be a draw to the community that it never would have been before. So they're trying to get people to come there, and the only way they can do it is to reduce the money that people have to pay to live there. So you got to think of this two different ways. Now, if I'm moving to an area that has to give tax abatements a way to get people there, that means that community is not quite as desirable. I mean, that's what it would allude to, correct? So if that's the case, is your property going to increase in value like it would at a place that doesn't have to give incentives because people want to live there? So they always say that location, location, location is one of the most important things that you need to consider when buying a home. Well, if the abatement's there, then they're saying something about that location. They got to offer something to get people to move there. So abatements have actually been a negative to communities on the long term. We're starting to see less and less of them. Communities are starting to get rid of them because they're starting to realize that. The other major issue I see with abatements is you get a community that offers up these abatements, and then at the end of 5 years on a new home, that's when things start to go wrong. That's when like it needs a little bit of maintenance. Your landscaping, all that kind of stuff comes into play. The abatement's gone, taxes kick in. And oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes homeowners don't have the extra money to continue to maintain their home and their yard, and they start to kind of go to crap a little bit quicker. So we need to be very careful with abatements. I always tell anybody that's buying in an area with an abatement, when they get that abatement, make sure that they're paying taxes to themselves and they're preparing for it. So when taxes kick in, it changes nothing in their life. And now they have that money that they save for that first 5 years for all the expenses that go into a home as time goes on. But be very careful when saying, I want to move to this area because of abatements. Same with, I want to move to this area because taxes are low. You got to be very careful. Just make sure that you're not moving to an area based on taxes. I always tell people you pay for what you get. That's not always the case with the government. I'm going to be very clear about that. But oftentimes, if taxes are a little bit higher, you might have better amenities in the city, better snow removal, just better care all around. So just be very aware of that and be very careful about looking at areas for abatements because they have an abatement.